that said, I'm introducing Mr. Ne San U, who's a very long time and distinguished activist from the Rohingya community, and his family is also, all of them, very active in and help run Rohingya Blogger, which is a very well-known news source that collects in real time the stories from the field, what's happening in Burma. So, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nisang. I am from Rohingya community. I'm a Rohingya activist living in New York, and actually I'm also helping to the Rohingya blogger websites. You can visit www.rohingyablogger.com. I would like to present a short and precise analysis on human rights situation in Arakan states. Since the Rohingya identity is denied by the Myanmar government and their citizenship question become on the street. Rohingyas are ethnic Muslim minority from Arakan state in Burma, primarily Buddhist nations. Rohingya are regarded as a most persecuted people in the world by the United Nations. Discrimination of Rohingya is a multiple race, religions, and cultural identity, not just religions. Social exclusion is arguably the most outrageous from human rights denial based on the people's race, religious, and ethnicity. But in addition to denial of the citizenship, torture, burning down of the houses, looting, rape, and human trafficking are an everyday reality for the Rohingyas. The Burmese junta and Rakhine Buddhist population are increasingly daring inappropriate use of power, absolute denial of their human rights, and powerless over their own lives have led to mass exodus to the neighbor country, Thailand, Bangladesh, Malaysia, and even Australia. It will never be easy to get the exact number of the people fleeing from Burma, but thousands have been fled, governments sponsor discrimination and ethnic cleansing. The horrible living condition in the refugee camps lead to the desired and high infant mortality. Since 1982 and Myanmar citizenship law, only 8 major indigenous race and sub-race associated to them in Myanmar is subject to a citizen. Since Myanmar independence in 1948, Rohingya was listed as one of the ethnic groups, but the 1982 citizenship law exclude them from the time of various forms of discriminatory and suppressive rule and mechanism have been continuously to days. Rohingya are not regarded as a human being. What the successive military government and intentionally to strip Rohingya of everything vital of their livelihood. Firstly, they are deprived of their history. Despite their existence in Arakan 1,000 years ago, they are portrayed as a Bengali who come into the Arakan since British occupation in 1984. Secondly, their ethnicity is misinterpreted and branded as a Bengali, and this is a deliberate attempt to took place since 73 and 1983 census to make them stateless. Thirdly, the government looted away Rohingya citizenship by multiple operations, drove them into the neighbor country. Finally, in 2014, Myanmar census, which started in April 1st, there are 135 code number for the each national ethnic people, but not for Rohingyas. The government have 2 different stories for international and local media. To international media, they said Rohingya must live themselves under category of 914, which means in other, but can write as a Rohingya give more detail. This means that Rohingya will not counted as an ethnic group, but people were freely to identify themselves. But in some media, local media reported by the immigration and population minister said Rohingya must enlist as a Bengali. Otherwise, know who as a Rohingya is liable in legal punishment. The worst is a demonstration led by the extremist Buddhist monk Wayatu and his group, National Group. They say Rohingya votes should be banned from the census. Even the Rakhine politicians, including RNDB party, are threatening for the more intensive violence unless government ban the inclusion of Rohingya. So now, we want to write as a Rohingya in our ethnicity in the census, but we will be stopped from joining the census. We were forced to write as a Bengali. We will not be counted at all. The census is funded by the United Nations Population Fund and European Union and other Western countries. It is extremely disappointing that the census is so racist. The lead mark of Wayatu is speech in the hate speech. Probably you might know he's one of the extremists, very famous in Burma. He himself called is a Bin Laden of Burma. Even if you see in the Time magazine, the Time magazine remarked as a face of Buddhist terror and a nationalist Buddhist mock Wiratu. Their goal is not only the violence, apartheid and segregation, imposition of ban on interfaith marriage, boycotting Muslim-owned business, reducing the Muslim population, and eventually elimination of the Muslim from Burma. The state government is ignore the hate speech and instigation of violence by the 969 movement has resulted in killing of Rohingya and Burmese Muslims in Arakan State, Meitila, and Okan and Lashu and Sagai division. And last year he visited to Maundo Township in the first week of January. The big terrorized incident occurred in Duchiratan, where dozens of people were injured and killed. Those villagers had to flee away from the village and their belongings and looted away by the Rakhine mobs and the security personnel. The government failed to investigate the violence against Rohingya, where nearly 200 people were murdered by the state-sponsored Rakhine Buddhists. And then the national NGO MSF said they treated 25 Rohingya people who were injured in that violence. Therefore, today, the government banned MSF from the Rakhine State, and more international NGO are giving humanitarian aid are being banned and attacked. Abuse and discrimination against Rohingya are intentional, well prepared, and well organized. Rohingya has been dehumanized and pushed into the camp and persecuted in so many ways. This includes restriction of movement, on marriage, on childbirth, and access to the education and medical treatment. The restriction on marriage and birth certificate means about 60,000 Rohingya children could not get a birth certificate. Rohingya children and youth have found it difficult to get an education, especially girls. After the violence started in 2012, the situation got much worse, and now there will be 20,000 of children unable to go to the school. 1,000 students unable to continue their university and the education. Most Rohingya in Arakan State cannot get the health service at all. The government hospital treat us as an enemy. We keep getting reports that even the hospital staff has beaten and mistreated Rohingya who seek for the medical treatment. There is no economic life for Rohingyas. Most of the third Rohingya has farming land was sized for the distribution among the non-Rohingyas, newly resettled model village and military installation. Due to the one-sided attack and assault, 150,000 of Rohingyas become an IDP, living in the squeeze camp without necessary facility. Other Rohingya whose village was banned are visually in confines, no freedom of movement and freedom of access to any means in the livelihood. There is no visible plan for resettlement the IDP. Even after kicking out the NGO from Sitwe last month, it still become a question of serious humanitarian problems. Women and children are dying every day due to the lack of food and water and health care. So in this case, we have to appeal to the international community to pressure the Burmese government in return of all the NGO. And this is not the interfaith issue. We need to take this matter is very serious way. Also, interfaith dialogue will need to participate by the Buddhists inside the Arkan along with Burma and Rakhine. It cannot be done in overseas. The radical Buddhists will not listen to outside people. Then Muslim and Buddhists in Burma will need to sit down first, and also we also need from the Christian in Burma, because there is a victim in Chin and Kachin state and Karen state. So we will need to continue pressure to the Burmese government to restore the Rohingyas their rights, to get listed as a Rohingya in the prison census, to process which lasts for the next 2 months. Forces Rohingyas to register as a Bengali under the census may lead to all of being forcibly deported from our own country as illegal. Health and education also extremely very important for our survival as a Rohingya. Please contact your congressman and State Department for sending a medical aid time in order to save the humanity. Thank you.